of the easiest and likely first encounters you'll have in video game repair, especially with retro cartridges, is doing a battery swap on, in this case, a Game Boy Color cartridge. Over time, those batteries do tend to die out, and when that happens, the cartridge will no longer hold the save, so you'd be starting a new game every time you turn it off. But it's a pretty quick and simple process to get that swapped out, and only requires a replacement battery, a game bit to unscrew the cartridge, and a soldering iron. And in this case, I'll actually be showing you how to do a hot swap on the battery, which actually preserves the save file without having to use any expensive external hardware or accessories. So in order to get these cartridges open, you will need a game bit of some sort that can actually fit into there. They're pretty cheap and easy to get on eBay or Amazon for just a couple of dollars. So in this case, we just need to unscrew this part here. And then it's just as simple as sliding the face down. And there is your PCB along with your battery. Now these batteries do tend to last a good while, but considering this game came out around 2001, I want to say, there's a good chance that that battery very well could be dead. If not already, then very soon. Now you may be asking, what is a battery hot swap and how does it differ from just a normal swap out? Well, if you don't necessarily care about maintaining the save on a game, like you just purchased it and you're going to start new anyway, then you don't really need to worry about the steps that I'll be showing you how to do a hot swap in this video. You can just unsolder the battery and replace it pretty quickly on its own. But if you have like a game of Zelda or Pokemon that you grew up with and want to maintain that save, then this is the fastest and cheapest way of saving that game while also refreshing the battery on that and getting that replaced. Now, if you're wanting to save that save game and preserve that, there's two ways you can really go about that. One is by going online and purchasing something like this here, insert photo, a Game Boy game rewriter or game dumper. They run between about $20 to $50 depending on which one you get and where you purchase it. But you can also do it with something as simple as your existing Game Boy Advance. This is quite simply by putting your PCB back into the back shell here, and then it just simply slides right into the Game Boy Advance, and you can turn it on and power it up. For the sake of being able to show you better, I put it into one of my modded Game Boy Colors here. And sorry for the focus, but you can see that there is a save game present. Now, if that wasn't present, then it would just be, blank 1, 2, and 3, but we can see now that there is, in fact, a save on this cartridge. So again, we're just going to start off by putting the cartridge into the Game Boy Advance, clicking it on, turn down the volume here just so I don't have to listen to that do its thing, and then confirm that it is on, and we'll get it flipped over here and prepare to desolder that battery. First step would be to desolder your battery. I just have a basic soldering iron here. You don't need anything particularly special. So, batteries are pretty readily available on Amazon and the like. Just have these little tabs already on them. In this case, we want a 3 volt, ideally a CR1616. So I do have a good replacement for that, a CR1616 button cell. You can get these on Amazon again for pretty cheap. You get like a dozen or so for maybe $5 to $10, depending on where you get them. So you want to make sure that we do align the positive and negative. In this case, I can see that the positive is what I have there. Note to self, next time I do a video, do not try filming in cinematic mode because the focus is all over the place. So before I put that on, I'm just going to add a little bit more solder to these solder joints here. Need to forgive my shaky hands. So that's going to make our lives a little bit easier. Again, we're going to want our positive lead going towards the top and our negative lead on the bottom. Just going to hold it down with my tweezers here after I get it lined up. Now, it doesn't need to be absolutely perfectly aligned, but you just don't want it to be touching anything that it shouldn't be touching. And really, that should be it. So we are on and on. Because I didn't use any flux in this case, I just used soldering wire that does have the flux in it. I don't have a whole lot to clean up here, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. You can see that the game is still on.